Welcome to another episode of my podcast, That's Fine With Me. Today we're going to be talking about Shopaholism and consumerism in social media, in real life, and what are the reasons behind this. And of course, not only reasons, what types of addictions do we have and symptoms, and maybe you can detect those symptoms in you. Let's get started. I want to devote this topic to some social media, and not only platform itself, but of course it started way back before social media. But scientists are thinking that within a couple of years, maybe 10 years, a decade, the consumerism has become enormous, I'd say, and people are just buying for buying. They're not needing most of the stuff they're purchasing. It's for, I guess, some commercial that we see all over the internet or maybe TV, but I don't really know who is still watching TV, mainly maybe some older generation. I don't know, guys. But let's break this down a little bit. And of course, we want to see shopaholics as normal people. And I know a lot of influencers like Carly Bible and Jacqueline Hill, they admitted the fact that they have this addiction. And of course, there's a certain difference between alcoholism, which is an addiction as well, but it ruins someone's life. And it is really not the same thing as shopaholism. Most of the time, they're not destructing their own life. But of course, if they're in huge debts, that's a distraction and that is going to ruin them eventually. But most of the time, if they have plenty of money to spend, like, again, Carly Bible and Jacqueline Hill, they're not breaking the bank most of the time when they're purchasing something over and over again. And of course, most of the time, they would say it's for content purposes. I don't really think it's mainly for content purposes because most of the time, we don't really see those purchases. Not all of them. Some of the purchases are super like behind the screen and you have no idea why they have this, and then they get rid of this. For example, Jacqueline Hill, she showed in one of the videos when she was moving from one city to another that she had the same color t-shirts or I don't know, hoodies that she never wore. And probably this is the main idea behind someone's mind, that why do you need, I don't know, the same hoodies but different colors? It's weird, and it does look really pretty when you watch a video from a TikToker or influencer and they have a huge closet with all these glass doors with the lighting. It's so bright, it's so pretty, and it looks like a real shop. Most of the time, you used to see these type of closets in the celebrity rooms and celebrity houses because they do really need all of it. They're all over the screens. They're always doing some interviews. They're doing their press. That's why they need that much stuff. But for an influencer who is mainly staying home most of the time, filming videos and content, well, why do you need this much just to film in different stuff? I don't know. I am on a side where I do actually clean my closet every now and then, and I really love when it's a little bit airy, when it's a little bit fresh from some old stuff. And if I like something but it's a little bit, I got tired of this or it's a little bit boring, I would put this on a shelf, and probably in a couple of years I would go back to the same stuff and see how is it going right now. Maybe I still like it. Maybe I will donate this to someone else and I will just call it a day. Of course, there's a positivity in consumerism as economy. It really looks good for economy because you're not having stashes and savings in your bank account, and all this money are always in use. They're always circling, and that's why people are spending this money. People are paying taxes out of this money, and that is the main reason why it's really good for economy. For banks specifically, it's really good because most of these people are in debt. And when you grab a credit or something out of it, like a loan, it's of course giving them an opportunity to have some more additional money out of your pocket. As well as, of course, they're given more employment for people that are producing stuff for you that you consume, as well as you can have better products. As for example, I don't know, maybe a small business can create a version of a lipstick that has, over 200 sales, but it was sold out. And a small creator, small business owner can create something for you as well. And another one. You have better options, better products with better, let's say when they're competing, you have your choices. And it's laid out because every single person wants a piece of your cash, a piece of your money. And that is the main reason why you have a lot of options laid out. But most of the time I see a lot of not only influencers but customers purchasing similar products and similar shades, similar eyeshadow palettes. They have thousands of these sitting in drawers, but they're still purchasing just because it's in a little bit different package and a little bit different container. And of course, it's set in a better living standard. I'm sorry, I was coughing and something got in my throat. So it's a better living standard because you have options and you have no shortage in products. But what are the disadvantages? And they're huge. Of course, small companies are practically dead because they have no options against really big creatives. They have no options against big companies because all of these products, they're shoving into your face through social media, and they can pay for the commercial on social media. Small creator, it's good if you have great platform with subscribers. They can purchase your products, but if you don't have it, then probably you're not going to be selling your stuff. And of course, the situation with ecology is really bad because with all of this consumerism, you have so much stuff thrown in the oceans, in the forest, and all over the street. People, most of them are literal pigs because they're throwing all this stuff and they don't really care putting this in a trash can, and they don't really care the problem with economy. So I mean, I really feel it's great for economy, but why do we think our countries and governments, they're not paying attention to ecology where they can put all of this under, I don't know, press probably, and think of ecology a better way, because we live on Earth planet, and if we literally just turn this into trash, then we're gonna start living and with all these animals and the pollution problems. We can see the side effects now. So just think a little bit further, not till you die and don't care what is going to happen for the future generation. And of course, yeah, I mentioned real quick debts that a lot of us are probably right now because of this consumerism, and you have no idea and you're paying no attention to what is really going on around you because you just constantly need to like maybe ask for money for another loan to purchase another shoes and bags and luxury products. Just buying for buying. And of course, that is a fixed idea. Shopaholism is not always for every single person. Of course, there are reasonable people out there, and of course, there are shopaholics out there as well. Do you remember the film Shopaholic? I really like this with an actress, and when she was teaching people how to spend money and how to save money in the magazine, and then she was the one with a problem, and then everyone judge her for that, and she had a huge sale later on. It just doesn't really matter. So the reasons for shopaholics, they're like, most of them are coming from rich families, and they're not really poor. They're not poor. Of course, I do think some people who were from poor families, and then later on when they have so much money and they have like so much access to different products, they would probably buy this because they were lacking this in their childhood. But most of the time, rich families, they can give you access to absolutely any sort of product, and you have no need in just like literally scooping out the product from the tube. You can throw this away and purchase a new one as well as the expiration date hits its time, let's say. And of course, we have a shortage of communication most of the time. The reasons for people that are in this situation, look at Sex and the City and Sarah Jessica Parker. Basically, that was Carrie. She was with friends, of course, most of the time, and she had lovers, but she lived alone. And what she was looking at, she was a girl coming from a small, city or village, I don't know where she came from, to New York, where she saw all those beautiful women and beautiful clothes. And she really, do you remember the phrase, I purchased sometimes Vogue instead of food because I felt it fed me more. And she was constantly looking for the sort of attention that she was probably lacking in her childhood. And of course, it was self-confidence when she was doubting herself against, not only big, but all of these girls and guys, they might be lacking self-confidence, and that's why they try to purchase more and more, so they would feel a little bit more confident that, oh, I can put this on and I would look so much better. I can, just have this lipstick, Giorgio Armani lipstick, and I would look cool. Something like this. Then we're going to talk about stress when some people, they eat while they're in stress. Others, they purchase while they're in stress. And stress can be another reason. Then public opinion. Do you remember the situation with the Stanley Cup? And every single kid, they wanted Stanley Cup because they felt if they didn't have it, they would be outsiders, and other kids, they would literally punish them, or not even punish, but wouldn't be friends with them. So this is a public opinion, I'd say, problem when you need to purchase something just because everyone has it, as well as iPhone. I mean, a lot of my friends and even family members as cousins, they have iPhone and one of the latest options and versions. I have Android. I didn't spend a lot of money on my phone. I don't really need a cool iPhone for now because I'm not actually filming lots of stories and reels for you from my phone. Maybe if in future I become a great influencer that would post all the time some content from phone, maybe I would consider this option, but maybe I will still choose some Android with a great camera. I don't know. But it's really crazy to me when my friend, she's in debt, she has no money, and she's purchasing an iPhone, the latest version of iPhone. And I'm like, why do you need this? You're not a photographer, you're not an influencer, you're just not doing a lot of these things with the camera. So why do you need the latest version? Why do you need this expensive phone? I have no idea, but it's just like public opinion because everyone else has it. I don't really care. I don't give a shit about public opinion most of the time. And of course, what are the symptoms when you're visiting some shops without any reason, just wandering around? And of course, when you have urge to check out some shop windows, just meaninglessly, wandering around again, and some other symptoms as fashion magazine. You're always constantly looking for a fashion magazine, or you're checking out some social media with influencers, what's new in the block, like maybe Jaclyn Hill, she purchased some new stuff, and you're like, you're browsing and shopping, and it's going to be out of stock within a couple seconds, and you're afraid that it's going to be out of stock, and you wouldn't have a chance to purchase this, new blush, new lipstick, or anything new that someone is recommending you. And of course, you would discuss this purchase with your friends and family members, because most of the time, if I go out and purchase something, I'm like, yeah, I had some new dress. Do you like it when I put this on? But shopaholics, like most of the time, they would purchase something and they would talk nonstop about sales, how many colors they purchased, what is the shape, how it's sitting, how it's fitting. And yeah, but sometimes some shopaholics, they don't even know what they purchased. They just purchase that for the sake of purchasing. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later. And of course, your mood is bad when you're not purchasing anything. You are feeling down, a little bit depressed, and just like not grumpy, not feeling yourself until you purchase something new. So you have a better mood since then. And of course, there are certain types of addictions that I can discuss. It's spontaneous shopaholic. When you have no purpose, not even purpose, you have no intention to purchase anything. You go shopping, and maybe even with a list of purchases, like you have a full list, what you really need, what you don't need. You don't really have a list for something that you don't need. But then you see a sale or a discount, and you would literally buy, maybe 20 packs of this, and for no reason, just because it's at a discount, it's like on sale. And I have a great example. One of my neighbors, she called my mom, and she said she has some really cool toilet paper that she's using every single time, though my ass doesn't really care which toilet paper is wiping it, but it's not the case here. So my neighbor, she called my mom, and she said she purchased 20 packs of them just because they were on sale. And then she gifted these, packages to her mom, her friends, some family members. And I'm like, why did you buy this? Because most of the time you just gifted this toilet paper. So you kind of wasted these money. You kind of wasted your budget on something you didn't really need just because it was on sale. Another great example, the same neighbor, she called and she said she had so much ice cream because it was on another sale, and she purchased that much ice cream she filled the whole freezer with this ice cream, and she didn't know where to put this because her kids, they went camping, I don't know, and she gave this to my mom, some of this ice cream, just because she had too much. So yeah, mainly it's a spontaneous shopaholism when you're not expecting, when you're not planning, but you see the price tag, the discount, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing this. Then a conscious shopaholism. It's just the person is not denying this, but he or she is just aimlessly shopping. When you go to a mall and you see all of these people, most of them, they're just walking around the center. They're not in a real search. They're not buying anything. They're just wandering around and might have, a t-shirt, a couple more t-shirts, just because they just feel bored and they need to spend money and feel excited and have a new thing in their closet. And of course, aim-oriented. This is the worst type of shopaholic. I don't know how to call them. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just a really tough word for me to pronounce, though it's the topic of today's video. So aim-oriented is a person you can tell who is actually spending so much money just for the sake of spending money. And most of the time, this person cannot say what he or she purchased. It's mainly Well, I spend my money on something. It can be expensive cars, it can be expensive, I don't know, jewelry or something like this. And they don't even know where all of this stuff were coming from. Sometimes they wake up in the morning and the first thing they do, they check out some sales, or not even sales, just they're checking some website if there's something new to buy and to purchase. Of course, shopaholics are the best way for business owners to deal with their products because, well, whatever they offer, shopaholic is going to purchase. But for normal people, and by normal, I mean someone who has this line between if I really need this, if I can afford this, and someone who's just, oh, I'm going to buy for the sake of buying. I'm going to purchase for the sake of purchase. It's not okay and it's not normal, guys. Just like pay attention. But there's a light at the end of tunnel. You can actually deal with this problem and you can solve this issue. I guess it's really simple for all of you. It's in the AA sorta community where you are coming, you have, I don't know, some people, a circle of people who has the same issue and problem. You have someone who's in charge of this group, and then you talk and discuss your issue. Every single time you go out, you would stand beside the mirror and say, okay, I have everything I need. I don't need this and that. I have all of it. So when I go to a mall or I go shopping, I need a small list of groceries that I write myself down. And if I see any sort of sales or anything like this, remember that these sales are always there and I can always purchase if I need this exact product. It will sit in the drawer and this will expire before I can use it. So I need to purchase only this. So it's a hard and tough work that you need to do, but it depending on, guys. If you really want to fight this issue, if you have lots of debts, do this. If you feel it's not bothering you and it's more or less okay, you don't feel claustrophobic with all the stuff around you, if it's not a real mess in your house, if you're not, just like purchasing for the sake of purchase, I don't know, maybe it's fine for you guys. Just live it like this. I remember I watched Carly Bible. I love her so much. This is one of my favorite YouTubers and I really like her. But every single time I see her closet, it's like a real shop, guys, with thousands of clothes and outfits. And every single time she comes from a trip or like maybe from Paris, one of the latest trips, she shows some more products, more dresses. And every single time you can't see her in the same outfit. So I don't even know how many of them she has. And maybe it's okay, but I can't imagine how much money, I'm not talking about her, but like average person can spend on certain outfits, purchasing them every single day. It's crazy, guys. And I believe these people, they have thousands of jeans that are practically the same, a little bit maybe different color, but most of them are the same shape, the same size, maybe different type of sizes. And they're keeping this for the sake of keeping. That's why, I don't know, if you like it, think for yourself. And I don't remember, it's for TLC or some other channel. I remember the coupons. Do you remember those like people with the coupons? They would save some coupons and then they would go on a shopping spree with, 500 coupons on certain products. And they would say, okay, I'm going to spend only $100 on, 7 kits with products totally full. And they would literally stack the whole, pantry with some products like 20 cans of produce, or like with beans, or 20 packs of toilet paper. So that would keep them till the rest of the year. But most of the time when they show their pantries, most of the products they purchase on these coupons, they're sitting on the shelves. They're still full of products, full of this beans and toilet paper, and they're still purchasing more and more. And this is a little bit different type of addiction. It's still a shopaholism, but you're not kind of wasting your money, but you're a little bit greedy. I know that some people, they really needed this when they lost their jobs and they started, not purchasing, but getting all these coupons to save their family from the poverty. But some of these just like the feeling of doing this. And of course, I saw some teenagers who were planning the party and they were like, oh, I need a lot of food for the party. So I would spend these coupons and save so much money, like $20. I'm going to purchase thousands of beers and chips and whatever. And they did. And I was like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool if you do this once in a lifetime to save some money on the party. But if this is a real job and you really do this every single time and you spend like so much time collecting all those coupons and checking them out and you have some like bookings and whatever, that's a little bit creepy. That's cringe and creepy in my opinion. But what do you think, guys? Let me know. Do you have any sort of problem? Do you have any ways to solve this issue in problem, let's say? So I'm going to be really interested to see your stories, to hear from you guys. I have my mail in description box where you can share your thoughts and stories. And I hope I'm going to see you in my next podcast. That's fine with me. And yeah, that's a cool, I guess, podcast because it's something not really dark. I mean, you can work in that. It's not, just like deadly for hopefully most of you guys, but just pay attention that if you have an issue, just maybe work on yourself. Love you all so much, and till my next podcast. That's fine with me. Bye bye.